Okay, so I found this story on boundingintocomics.com. It's a Shang-Chi actor Simu Liu claims media narratives are polarizing us. He advocated for dismantling the police and pushed systemic racism theory. Basically, this all came about because because he was responding to the reports that Shang-Chi, or Shang-Chi, I guess, won't be released in China. And basically, the reason for that is because he's made comments critical of China in the past, or technically the CCP. And he talked about how you see in the screenshots from a CBC interview that was published back in 2017, he discusses that his family who came from China lived in the third world and that people dying of starvation and all that kind of stuff. And the article explains that the film's already on rocky ground, and it won't be released in China. They're just, with his comments against China, there's no way. But anyway, then it goes on and talks about some of the various things about, Shang-Chi is not the first Marvel movie that's not been approved and everything. And then he basically posted, I guess this was on his Instagram, it looks like, what Western news often fails to report on is the absolute groundswell support that we've received from all parts of the world, including people from China. He continued, all around us, media narratives are polarizing us and turning us against each other, but I have seen the kindness and empathy that all people possess, and I know that we have fans from all over the world who cannot wait to watch our movie and make history with us. Which is ridiculous, because he's still on that thing about, this is history making and shit. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? But anyway, and then here's it points out, he's right in his assertion that media narratives are polarizing people, but he's engaged in participating in them, and in my opinion, makes that polarization even worse. Back in June 2020, this is from June 2020, over the last few days, I went from empathetic and sad to just plain angry. Defund it, and make way for a new system that doesn't prey on the lives of the underprivileged. Defund the police, basically, is what he's talking about. And then he also, super proud of my parents for watching the YouTube video I sent about systemic racism and also proactively educating themselves, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. And then he also said, this is the video I sent, and all this kind of bullshit and stuff. And then he deleted this tweet. He went so far as to one officer's discipline for just smirking. He tweeted, the bar is set too goddamn low. Officers should be disciplined for the slightest abuse of force and power. They should be disciplined for every punch, kick, swing of a baton, or smirk that was not absolutely necessary. Now, number one, I do agree that officers should be disciplined for abusing their power. That's absolutely, I agree with that 100%. But this, smirk. It's like, come on, dude, get out of here with that shit. That's stupid. And then apparently he also compared the Defund the Police to Spider-Man. Just remember, we had to reboot Spider-Man a few times to get Tom Holland. We can reboot the criminal justice system too. And almost 40,000 likes on that shit. And of course, they gotta do this SpongeBob thing. What will we replace the police with? Social workers, crisis staff, trained in de-escalation, women's shelters, counselors, Planned Parenthood, therapists, safe injection sites, rehab, community outreach, night classes, affordable health care. Let me know how that goes when some fucking lunatic has a gun and he's firing. Let's send in the social workers. It's like, don't get me wrong. I do think that there needs to be changes in the way that policing is done and stuff, and that we need to excuse me. I believe that we should put more emphasis on rehabilitating people, or like with the whole drug thing. The war on drugs is an abject failure, and I absolutely believe that we need to just quit that, for one, especially with marijuana. But I mean, hell, even with other drugs, it's like we should put the emphasis more on treating people's addictions rather than just throwing their asses in jail. But anyway, it's hypocritical for this guy to sit here and talk about, media narratives are polarizing us. It's like, you're on the side of the media that's polarizing us, you fucking clown. And and again, he also, as it says here, he also engaged in Marvel Studios' combative marketing for Shang-Chi by claiming that there was no Asian characters that were aspirational before him. And so when he talks about, it means the kids growing up today will have what I didn't, which are characters that are aspirational, and all this stuff. And it's like, what the, dude, Shang-Chi was created in 1973, or Shang-Chi, or whatever, It's like, what the fuck? I mean, it's just ridiculous, And again, he's trying to soft shoe out of the stuff. Because it's like you make stupid comments and you piss people off, and they call you out on it, and well, then you got to sit there and you got to soft shoe, you got to backpedal out of it and everything. Now all of a sudden it's media narratives that are to blame, not your own stupid comments. Anyway, I'll go ahead and wrap this up here. I could rant on this for a long time. It's so stupid. Like we have movies from the 70s and stuff with Asian actors. Uh, you could argue, hey, there hasn't been enough. You could argue that if you want, but it's so wrong to just sit there and act like, oh, kids growing up will have what I didn't. An aspirational character to look up to and stuff. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and just wrap this up here. Thank you very much for watching and have a good one.